While tipsy on wine with her girlfriends, she declared, "I deserve way more than him. Marriage? Forget it." I was in the adjacent room, arranging her surprise 5th anniversary present. I switched off the lights, retrieved my gift, and slipped out silently. The following morning, one of her friends messaged me privately. "She's been sobbing nonstop since last night. You made the correct choice." Hey everyone, before we continue with the story, please subscribe to the channel and tap that like button if you enjoy these kinds of real-life tales. Thank you. The small case in my palm seemed far weightier than its actual size. Nestled inside was a bespoke platinum ring featuring 3 sparkling diamonds, one symbolizing our history, another our current life, and the biggest representing the tomorrow I believed we were creating together. In my coat pocket rested 2 premium tickets for the breathtaking Amalfi Coast. 5 full years of effort, sacrifice, and determination had led to this moment. I'd left the office 3 hours ahead of schedule, informing my assistant it was a family crisis, which wasn't entirely false if surprising your spouse counts as a heart-related urgency. I left my practical, fully owned sedan parked a block away so Lauren wouldn't spot it in the driveway. I craved complete astonishment. My plan was simple. Step inside, watch her expression brighten, and finally offer the indulgence she'd always subtly implied she was entitled to. Using my key, I entered quietly through the rear door of the home whose mortgage I covered. Tuesdays meant girls' wine evening. Normally I'd disappear on those nights, lingering at work or exercising, allowing Lauren and her group to complain freely about jobs, existence, and whichever reality program had captured their attention. But this Tuesday stood apart. This was our milestone. The interior was softly illuminated by the luxury candles I'd gifted her the previous holiday season. Voices drifted from the lounge area, glasses touching, loud chuckles, the unmistakable loosening that comes from crisp white wine. I tiptoed across the kitchen, grinning foolishly. Just before entering the corridor, my name surfaced. "Ethan? Come on. Ethan won't mind if I'm out late again." Lauren's tone carried through clearly, not warm, but scornful, the same dismissive edge she reserved for salespeople, never her spouse. "He's likely buried in that mind-numbing office dealing with spreadsheets again," her friend Megan snorted. Megan was unattached, forever entangled with unavailable men, and usually quite bitter. "Seriously, Lauren, how do you put up with it? He's so plain." I halted. My grip tightened on the plush case. I braced for her to stand up for me. I expected something like, "He busts his back for our future," or "He's the most dependable guy alive." Instead came the glug of more wine being poured. "Plain doesn't even cover it, Meg," Lauren replied, her words slightly slurred from what sounded like multiple glasses already. "Ethan is dependable. He's like a Toyota Camry. Steady. Gets the job done without drama. Dependable has its perks, doesn't it?" That came from Olivia. Olivia was the reserved member, the sole friend who appeared to possess any real principles. "He adores you, Lau. He got you that nice SUV. He covers every bill." "Olivia, darling, quit being so logical," Lauren shot back, her tone growing sharper. "Sure, he handles the expenses. That's what spouses do. But does he ignite any passion in me? Absolutely not. Does he enter a space and instantly draw every eye? Hardly. He enters and checks whether coasters are needed." The group burst into laughter. My insides felt like concrete. There I remained, hidden in the unlit passage, the scent of her costly fragrance wafting my way, suddenly an outsider in the life I'd constructed. "I crave a lion," Lauren went on, lowering her voice to a secretive murmur I could hear crystal clear. "Not some friendly Labrador. Take Connor from advertising, for instance. Now that's a real man." Ice flooded my veins. Connor, the colleague she'd brought up offhandedly a handful of times. The coworker who assisted with her slide decks. Connor, Megan pressed, curiosity piqued. "The one with the noticeable scar on his cheek?" "Exactly," Lauren cooed. "We grabbed lunch earlier. The intensity in his gaze, it's raw. He makes me feel 23 again. If Connor ever truly pursued me, I'm not sure I could resist. To be honest, I feel like I compromised with Ethan. I freaked out nearing 30, and there he was, ring ready, seeming like the secure option." "You didn't compromise. You gained security," Olivia offered faintly. "Security equals dullness, Olivia," Lauren barked, banging her glass onto the surface. My late grandmother's vintage side table, I registered blankly. I'm choking on security. When I look at Ethan, all I see is average. I know I could land someone far superior. Wedlock. Pass. If I could rewind, I'd remain unattached, explore freely, and end up with someone like Connor who genuinely stirs something in me. But now I'm trapped acting domestic with a guy who considers adventure to be extra hot curry. Then walk away, Megan dared. Silence stretched. A deep, loaded quiet. I can't, Lauren exhaled, the venom giving way to a chilly, pragmatic calculation that stung worse than the barbs. There's the rental agreement, the auto payments, my loans. Ethan takes care of it all. I won't exit until I lock in something superior. Connor hasn't committed. Until then, I keep up the devoted wife act. Today's actually our anniversary. I'll have to fake enthusiasm for whatever predictable, tame present he picked out. You're awful, Megan giggled, though the laugh held admiration. I'm practical, Lauren replied. To the bridges we cross, girls. Clink. I didn't charge in. I didn't smash anything or yell accusations. I didn't splash wine or insist on answers. Right then, concealed in the dim corridor, the Ethan she recognized vanished. The loyal Labrador she ridiculed was laid to rest. An odd, frigid composure settled over me, the sharpness born from total ruin. I glanced at the plush case. The ring cost 3 months' earnings. The vacation vouchers were non-refundable, yet assignable. It hit me. She didn't view me as a human being. I was infrastructure, a breathing credit source. She was simply waiting for a lion to appear so she could toss me aside like yesterday's trash. I retreated gradually. I glided backward like a shadow. I retraced steps through the kitchen, avoiding every noisy board. At the rear entrance, I eased the door open painfully slowly and stepped into the chilly evening. I headed to my vehicle parked further down. My fingers stayed steady. My pulse remained even. Emptiness replaced affection, a resonant, empty space. I slid behind the wheel and gazed at our home. The lounge light glowed. Her outline moved inside, lively, vibrant, ridiculing the existence I'd labored to provide. I secured the ring case in the glove box. I retrieved my phone. Ethan Lauren, blocked. Ethan Megan, blocked. I turned the key. The engine hummed smoothly. Dependable. Consistent. Precisely what she despised. I skipped crashing at a buddy's place. I avoided drowning sorrow in alcohol. I drove directly to the upscale urban hotel reserved for our planned romantic getaway beginning tomorrow. At reception, checking in. The clerk beamed. Yes, I answered evenly. And I'd like to switch to the executive suite, if available. Solo stay. Solo, sir. Correct. I confirmed, presenting the card Lauren was linked to. I reminded myself to remove her access tomorrow. My spouse is occupied hosting company. Upstairs, I requested a ribeye and 2 fingers of bourbon, then sat gazing at the skyline sparkle. No tears. No outbursts. I simply awaited dawn and the unavoidable consequences of cutting off support that had been abruptly, irrevocably terminated. Sleep came easily, profound, empty of dreams, like a man who'd hauled a massive load uphill for half a decade before finally letting it plunge. Morning arrived. Luxurious linens enveloped me like a protective shell. I called for breakfast, poached eggs, dark roast, seasonal berries, all before checking messages. I savored the quiet a bit longer. Around 10, I powered my device back on. It buzzed frantically for nearly 2 full minutes. 51 missed calls from Lauren. 14 from Megan. 4 from Lauren's mother. Texts that perfectly captured her spiraling mood. 11:42 p.m. Where are you? Everyone's gone. 12:38 a.m. This isn't amusing, Ethan. It's our special day. 2:11 a.m. Back at work again? Unbelievable. 4:05 a.m. I'm worried. Respond. 7:55 a.m. Megan checked your parking spot. Car missing. Where are you? 9:02 a.m. Stop acting immature. Return home. She hadn't grasped I'd been inside. She assumed typical dull behavior, overtime or thoughtlessness. Fury, not regret. She felt owed my company even as she plotted my replacement. Then an Instagram alert, message request from Olivia. I opened it. Olivia, Ethan, unsure if you'll see this. When I departed last evening, I noticed your car leaving from down the block. You were present, correct? You overheard everything. I feel awful. I should have spoken up, but I stayed silent. She's been in tears since morning. Not from losing you, from believing you're retaliating by disappearing. She's unaware you caught the Connor remarks. But truthfully, leaving was wise. She doesn't merit your devotion. Stay gone. I studied the words. Confirmation. Undeniable evidence I wasn't irrational or excessive. Olivia, the restrained one, had delivered irrefutable proof. I left her message unanswered. No need to pull her deeper into the mess. Instead, I launched my financial app. Lauren held an additional card tied to my account, meant for essentials, though it mostly financed cosmetics and social evenings. Facial definition, once softened by stress eating, emerged again. Professionally, I pushed boundaries. No longer the cautious role Lauren scorned. I proposed an aggressive acquisition plan to leadership, bold, unlike past hesitance. They embraced it. Promotion to executive level within the quarter. Income jumped 40%, appearance transformed, emotional load zeroed. Women began noticing. Odd initially. I'd been accustomed to invisibility in marriage. Now bars, meetings, glances lingered. Reliability evolved into capability, strength, quiet assurance from needing no approval. Casual outings followed. Light dinners, discussion, confirmation I wasn't bland, merely mismatched. Roughly 5 months after parting, rooftop venue with a companion, pediatric specialist named Sophie. Sharp, humorous, attractive. Mid-laughter, phone illuminated. Unknown caller. I recognized the pattern. Weeks of alternate numbers, apps, proxies. Silenced without shifting gaze from Sophie. Former, she inquired, eyebrow arched. Ancient chapter, I replied. But old chapters resurface unless firmly closed. Lauren refused to accept closure. Days later, work email arrived. Hers to mine, bypassing personal blocks without triggering security. Subject, please consider. I'm deeply regretful, Ethan. I know you despise me now. I ruined everything. Connor was disastrous. Early life panic, perhaps. Megan poisoned my thinking. I long for you. For our routine. Our place. Couch surfing at Megan's reeks of litter box. I crave my spouse returned. What I labeled dull was truly tranquility. Could we meet briefly? Coffee. 10 minutes. I require seeing you. I read carefully. Old Ethan, the loyal Labrador, would have softened, recalled tears, happy fragments, felt compelled to rescue. New Ethan, tempered in betrayal's heat, felt only stark irony. She missed stability, not me. Missed funded comforts. Missed calm my resources supplied. She'd leapt ship, discovered she couldn't tread water, now resented no rescue line. No response sent. Yet I knew persistence. Self-absorbed types struggle with being ignored. It questions their reality. Without clear finality, she'd linger indefinitely. I opted to grant her wish. One concluding encounter. Not reconciliation, revelation of precisely what she'd discarded. Reply. Coffee house, Elm and 5th. Tuesday, 6 sharp. 10 minutes maximum. Time to finalize. I arrived precisely on time. Reliability suits achievers, and achievement suited me. She sat tucked in a side booth, cradling a flat white. Contrast struck hard. Former Lauren, groomed, poised, glowing with assurance born of complete support. Present Lauren, unraveling. Dark roots stark against fading color I'd once financed. Familiar cardigan, now threadbare. Posture slumped protectively. I wore crisp charcoal tailoring from that morning's executive session. Calm authority flowed from zero obligations, zero lies. I approached. Her eyes widened. Ethan, she exhaled. Instinctive reach for embrace. I remained still. No advance. No reciprocation. Hands pocketed, invisible barrier intact. Please sit, Lauren. I instructed, courteous yet distant, the tone for line cutters. She stiffened, arms falling uselessly. She resumed her seat. I claimed the opposite chair. You appear remarkable, she murmured, voice quivering. Training hard? You look university era, improved, honestly. Abundant time now without supporting another adult, I noted. She winced. Ethan, please. Don't turn cruel. I understand your pain. Pain isn't present, I clarified. Indifference is. You requested 10 minutes. 9 remain. Shaky inhale, fingers clutched mug like lifeline. All right. Listen. I failed terribly. I lost clarity. Megan, she clouded everything. Convinced me I missed excitement. Convinced me security imprisoned me. Now I see it wasn't prison, it was bedrock. She stretched toward my hand again. I shifted to lift my glass. I miss you, Ethan. I miss our life. Lazy Sundays. Your brewed coffee. Security. Connor was foolish recklessness. Everyone errs, correct? 5 years together. Doesn't that count? Can't we restart? I studied her truly. Searched for lingering affection. Sought any flicker urging rescue. Nothing surfaced. Merely recognition of someone once familiar. You didn't miss me while entangled with Connor. Face blanched. I was attempting to move past you. I ached. No, Lauren. Ache wasn't present. You were transitioning branches. Assumed firm hold ahead, released me. Branch failed. That alone explains this table. Had Connor offered wealth and commitment, you'd be elsewhere, planning vows. False, she hissed, grief igniting familiar fury. I love you. You love convenience? I stated plainly. Couch crashing. Penniless. Grasping that the dependable Camry bore your entire load. Now locomotion required. So that's your plan? Mask shattered fully. Endless punishment. Turn a motionless machine? I'm sinking, Ethan. Fuel's a struggle. I'm still your wife. Former wife, I corrected. Decree entered yesterday. Your attorney should have notified. She gaped, combativeness evaporating into raw dread. You actually signed? Whispered. Correct. I assumed possible repair. Lauren, slight forward lean. Recall your anniversary night words. Eyes dropped. Intoxicated. You stated, I deserve far superior. Flinch repeated. Meditated on that often. I continued. Weeks of mirror staring, questioning insufficiency. Loyalty insufficient. Affection inadequate. Pause. Cafe ambient filled gap. Then realization struck. I said gently. Her gaze lifted, hope sparking. You were correct. Hope flared brighter. Yes, you were correct. You claimed superior options existed. Truthfully, so did I. Spark extinguished, replaced by stunned silence. I realized I deserved better than a companion who ridicules me privately. Better than one deeming devotion weakness. Better than one requiring external lines for self-worth because inner emptiness demands it. Watch glance. 10 minutes concluded. I rose. Ethan, wait. She lurched upward, chair scraping. You can't abandon me here. Nowhere to turn. Megan evicts next week. Nothing left. One final regard. Freedom is yours, Lauren. Single status desired. Passion craved. Lion's unpredictability sought. Jacket fastened. Now possessed. Best wishes. I exited into cool dusk. No backward glance. Unnecessary. I knew she'd be weeping behind glass. Portrait of unconsidered repercussions. Retrospection belongs to the directionless. I proceeded to valet area. Not the Camry. Traded months prior. Now a sleek coupe waited. Dynamic. Swift. Mildly extravagant. Vehicle for one unburdened by another's luggage. While awaiting, message arrived. Sophie. Procedure overran, but evening cleared. Dinner at 8? Spot with awful servers, superb vintages. Smile formed. Perfect timing. En route. Valet arrived. Generous tip, slide inside. Phone linked. Audio rose, vibrant, pulsing. Merging traffic, I passed the cafe once more. Through window, Lauren hunched, typing desperately. Likely messaging Megan. Family. Hunting next Connor rescuer. Diminished. Insignificant. 5 years I'd striven as her tale's champion. Her anchor. Her supporter. Her safeguard. She'd scorned it. Challenge requested. Delivered. Existence sans reliable man's padding. Superior desired. Attempt freely. Shifting. Accelerating onto open road. City and her receding. Certainty settled. She'd hunted a lion. Only to discover, belatedly, she'd forsaken the sole protector who'd ever truly guarded her. Hatred dissolved. Love evaporated. Thoughts of her ceased entirely. Thanks for staying till the end. Subscribe if you haven't, like the video, and drop your thoughts below. What's your take on this one?